1. Wealth isn't magic. It's formula. Wealth is not magic. It's not luck. It's not some cosmic energy that just happens to certain people. It's formula. And like any formula, once you understand the components, you can replicate the result. The people inside the XRP Rich List don't wake up rich. They wake up strategic. They follow a way of thinking, a way of acting, a way of managing time, risk, and reward. That compounds quietly until it explodes. The XRP Rich List didn't stumble into millions. They followed a framework. Research before hype, position before headlines, hold through storms, scale when others panic. It's not magic. It's not gut feeling. It's formula, built on logic, conviction, and time. The truth is, most people miss this, not because it's hard to understand, but because they're addicted to the idea that wealth is either fast or forever out of reach. Neither is true. Wealth is formulaic, predictable, trainable. The XRP Rich List and the XRP Rich List simply do what most won't, consistently. And now that you know it's not magic, you're ready to start learning the real formula. Two, why most ignore the structure. If the formula works, if the pattern repeats, if the structure is visible across every wealthy person, then why do most ignore it? Simple, because it's boring, because it's slow, because it's not shiny, viral, or instantly satisfying. We live in a world that rewards reaction, not reflection. Clickbait, not clarity. Speed, not structure. So when someone shows up and says, wealth is a system, do this, repeat that, stay consistent, most people's minds drift. They want hype, not habits. They want magic, not mechanics. They want overnight, not over time. The XRP Rich List, they embrace the structure. They love the system. They lean into repetition, not distraction. They respect cause and effect. The XRP Rich List didn't get there by doing what felt exciting. They did what felt aligned, even when no one else understood. They followed a process others laughed at, until the process produced results. Most people ignore the structure because it demands patience, clarity, and responsibility. But those who don't ignore it, they build something most never touch. Predictable, repeatable, peaceful wealth. Now the question is, will you chase the noise again? Or will you start honoring the structure? 3. Core mindset of the rich formula. Every formula needs a foundation. And in wealth, that foundation is not money. It's mindset. The rich don't just do things differently. They think differently first. Here's the core belief that powers the entire formula. Wealth is not a fantasy, it's a skill, and I can learn it. That one thought shifts you from wishing to building, from gambling to engineering, from waiting to executing. The XRP Rich List doesn't think like the masses. They don't ask, is this risky? They ask, what's the risk of doing nothing? They don't say, I can't afford this. They say, how do I create the ability to afford this, again and again? Their mindset is built around agency. They don't wait to be chosen. They choose themselves. The XRP Rich List applied this same thinking to crypto. They didn't need perfect conditions. They needed clear conviction. They saw value before validation and positioned themselves before the market approved. This mindset of ownership, responsibility, and long-term vision is the ignition key to the wealth formula. Without it, you'll always sabotage the process. With it, you become unstoppable. Mindset first, formula second, fortune third. 4. The 3 elements inside the Rich List code. Every great formula has components. Wealth is no different. Inside the XRP Rich List and the XRP Rich List, there are 3 elements that repeat across industries, backgrounds, and timelines. Master these 3 and you don't just get rich, you stay rich. 1. Clarity. They know what they want. Clearly, they don't chase trends. They define the goal before they begin. Clarity creates direction, and direction creates focus. Without clarity, you'll drown in noise. 2. Conviction. They don't move because others move. They move because they've studied, they've decided, and they're willing to be early, alone, and misunderstood. Conviction creates resilience, the power to hold, to wait, to stick to the path. Without conviction, clarity dies in confusion. 3. Consistency. They do the boring things, the unsexy things, the things that don't go viral, but make them free. Consistency creates compounding, the most powerful force in wealth. Without consistency, nothing lasts. Together, these three form the core code: clarity, conviction, consistency. You want in the rich list? Burn this into your operating system, because this isn't just theory, it's the structure behind every result they own. 5. XRP Rich List and the crypto multiplier. Every formula has leverage. In the world of wealth, crypto is that leverage. And for those in the XRP Rich List, XRP wasn't just another coin. It was the multiplier inside the formula. They didn't treat XRP like a lottery ticket. They treated it like infrastructure, like rails being laid beneath the global financial system. They applied the same core wealth formula: clarity about what XRP is and what problem it solves. Conviction in utility, not hype. Consistency in accumulation and holding. But here's the key. Crypto multiplies not just wealth, it multiplies consequences. That means right formula equals exponential reward. Wrong habits equals amplified loss. The XRP Rich List understood this. They respected the volatility but stayed anchored in utility. While others chased pumps, they watched partnerships. While others feared headlines, they followed regulatory clarity. While others exited emotionally, they stayed positioned strategically. Crypto isn't a replacement for the wealth formula. It's an accelerator for those already living it. That's why the XRP Rich List grew faster than most. Not because of timing alone, but because they applied the right mindset to a multiplier environment. And now, you don't just know the formula, you know what amplifies it. Use it wisely. 6. Daily patterns that compound quietly. Wealth isn't built in loud moments. It's built in the quiet patterns, the ones no one sees, the ones no one claps for. Everyone wants the breakthrough. But the Rich List doesn't wait for breakthroughs. They create them by stacking invisible wins every single day. While the average scrolls, they study. While the world reacts, they reflect. While others chase new coins, they deepen conviction in what they've chosen. The XRP Rich List didn't get rich from one trade. They got rich from thousands of micro decisions, saying no to distractions, checking charts without chasing reading documents, not headlines, adding $50, $100, $200 without fail. Holding when emotion said sell. These patterns don't trend. They don't get shared on social media, but they compound. Because compounding doesn't just apply to money, it applies to behavior, to discipline, to momentum. And over time, these tiny patterns create something unstoppable, a force no one can see coming until it's too late. So if you want in, don't look for the big move. Look for the small moves done daily. That's where wealth lives, quiet, hidden, growing, every day. 7. What the formula rejects by default. Every formula has ingredients, but more importantly, every formula has non-negotiables it rejects. The You Are Rich List didn't just do certain things, they stopped doing what broke their wealth. The formula is allergic to impulse drama noise, entitlement shortcuts. It rejects emotional trading. It rejects victim thinking. It rejects envy disguised as motivation. You can't run this formula while you're still craving fast results and fearing long processes. You can't multiply wealth while carrying the habits of scarcity. The XRP Rich List walked away from FOMO groupthink. Get-rich-quick illusions. Chasing 100 coins with zero focus. They simplified. They clarified. They cut the noise before compounding the results. The formula doesn't work for everyone because not everyone is willing to leave behind what the formula won't tolerate. Wealth isn't just about what you attract. It's about what you refuse to carry. Ask yourself, what patterns in my life would the formula instantly reject? Now subtract that, every day, until the only things left in your system are what make wealth inevitable. 8. Breaking old habits that break wealth. The formula works, but only if you're not working against it. And most people are, not because they mean to, but because they're running on old habits that were never designed to build wealth. Habits like checking your bank account 10x a day, saying I'll save later, starting fast, quitting faster, consuming more than creating, talking more than tracking. These aren't minor flaws. They are silent destroyers. And the hardest part? They feel normal. They feel harmless. They feel comfortable. But comfort is the enemy of compounding. And if your habits are rooted in survival, you'll never graduate to strategy. The You Are Rich List broke those loops. They rewired the way they wake up, the way they speak, the way they spend and save. They replaced emotion with structure, impulse with systems, excuses with metrics. The XRP Rich List did the same, but in the crypto arena. They stopped jumping from coin to coin and started building conviction. They automated what worked, eliminated what didn't, and practiced that daily until it became identity. If you want real wealth, you don't just need to learn the formula. You need to unlearn what's been killing it. Break the habit before it breaks your future. 9. The map becomes predictable. With the formula, most people wander, guess, hope. But the You Are Rich List, they don't wander. They execute. Why? Because when you live by a formula, the map is no longer a mystery. It becomes predictable. Wealth stops feeling like a lottery. It starts feeling like GPS. You know the steps. You track the progress. You adjust the inputs. You anticipate the outcomes. This is what most never understand. Success isn't luck. It's structure repeated until it looks inevitable. The XRP Rich List wasn't reacting to the market. They were following a map. Buy value. Ignore noise. Trust the tech. Stick to the system. While others panicked, they stayed calm. While others jumped ship, they held position. While others doubted, they executed the formula again and again. And what happened? Results. Predictable. Compounding. Repeatable. The formula doesn't remove all uncertainty, but it removes all guesswork. And the moment you stop guessing is the moment you start owning. Wealth becomes less of a wish and more of a timeline. So if the map still feels blurry, ask yourself, am I actually following the formula or just hoping it works by accident? Because the path only becomes clear when the formula becomes consistent. 10. Run the formula over and over. Now you know. It's not a myth. It's not magic. It's not for the chosen few. It's a formula. And formulas don't care about your past. They respond to your pattern. You don't have to feel ready. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect timing. You just need to run the formula. Then run it again, and again, and again. Because repetition is what turns understanding into transformation. Execution is what turns insight into income. The You Are Rich List didn't get results because they knew more. They got results because they applied more consistently, more quietly, more deliberately. The XRP Rich List didn't stop when it got hard. They didn't pause when it got slow. They didn't shift when the crowd panicked. They kept running the formula with trust, with clarity, with grit. And over time, the results caught up, then exploded. So here's your moment. You've seen the structure. You've learned the principles. You've faced the inner resistance. Now, run the formula. Even when it's boring, even when it's quiet, even when no one's watching. Because if you do, one day soon, you won't just study the UR Rich List or the XRP Rich List, you'll be on it.